If in the past one-on-one interviews were held on location or in a studio and in person, we can't do that now. So tonight's first sit down with the new chief of staff is going to be done via a very popular teleconferencing app. General Gapay is at the AFP General Headquarters in Camp Aguinaldo in Quezon City. He joins us live via Zoom, and I'm broadcasting from home as I've been the last 4.5 months with the help of TVU Anywhere. So let's begin with this first. General Gapay, congratulations on your assumption of command, and thank you very much for agreeing to do this very non-traditional interview. General Gapay, let's get down to this interview already. Let's talk about the AFP's role in the government's response to the pandemic. You still need to to help maintain law and order. There is a huge job that the AFP still needs to do, but still there is this pandemic going on. Can you give us a very brief overview of what the AFP is doing in this regard?
Yes, Pia, good evening, and good evening to all the viewers. Well, your armed forces remains to be actively involved in the government effort to contain and address the COVID-19 pandemic. You would see soldiers manning quarantine stations, yung mga checkpoints natin in several areas here in Metro Manila, in Cebu, some parts of our country. And we are also actively involved in providing free transport services through our Libreng Sakay program. We were also tasked to man certain quarantine facilities outside our camps, providing medical workers, doctors, nurses, and other medical personnel. And we have been also active in delivering food packs in remote areas, particularly those really adversely hit by the COVID pandemic. And right now, meron na rin kaming marching order, Pia, from our president to prepare in case meron na tayong vaccine, will be in the forefront in the distribution of these vaccines.
Yes. Well, General Gapay, itong being in the forefront, no, there's some criticism about the government's so-called militarist approach to the response to this pandemic. How does the AFP see this?
Well, very visible kasi mga sundalo natin, but it doesn't mean militarization ito. You see, we're a very organized, well-equipped organization and well-experienced when it comes to addressing not only pandemics but other calamities and disasters that has hit our country in the past. That's why hindi na bago sa amin itong trabahong ito in addressing yung HADR, as we call it, yung humanitarian assistance and disaster response operations. And that's why immediately after the president has ordered the lockdown last March, in the early March, on March 12, we were the first ones to be called upon to really help in the national government effort. So, nandito ang inyong armed forces to really help out and mitigate the impact of this pandemic, not only on the health services sector, but as well as on the economic impact of this. Kaya nakikita natin na mga sundalo helping out in the distribution of not only food packs, relief goods, but also on the social amelioration support program of the national government. So nandito po kami upang tumulong sa ating mga mamamayan. Yes, Pia.
Well, General, the problems or the challenges of peace and order still remain, even if we have this pandemic. So let's zero in on terrorism, no? And I wanted to first ask you this question. I wanted to give you the opportunity to respond to this, no? The anti-terrorism law, you made a very controversial statement on the day you assumed command of the armed forces. What kind of ideas did you want to introduce to the implementing rules and regulations of the anti-terrorism law? You want to regulate social media?
Yes, my statement was, invited really interest among several sectors. But really, the premise was the social media is being used as a vehicle of the terrorist groups to recruit, to gain financing and logistics, to radicalize, and even to plan and carry out terroristic attacks. That's why we were asked to suggest or some ideas to the IRR. That's why, based on our experience in Malawi, this is one of the major challenges we confronted because the Maute terrorist group, hindi naman sila ganun karami. But still, they were able to stay there, hold up, and sustain their positions in the fight for 4 months. Because capitalizing the social media, they were able to recruit, to radicalize, and even plan and carry out some attacks in certain communities. That's why
So,
it
General, what you want
was
to
a
do is you
challenge
want
for
to
us.
just, yes, General, you just want to monitor them, or you want to file cases against them, you want to take down their posts. What exactly do you want to do? Because the criticism is, well, in very simple words, no, cyber martial law daw, cyber tokhang, etc. Very
Yeah,
briefly lang po,
what
sir.
I meant by that was to really regulate and put order into the social media platforms, not the users per se. We're not here to curtail really the freedom of expression and of the users. They could really, upload whatever they want. But what I'm saying is to regulate the platforms on the content that they allow to be uploaded in the platforms such as the Facebook, the Twitter, and similar platforms. And in the region and even in the world, may effort na ang ibang governments dito. Like in Europe, they're already communicating with Facebook, with Twitter, with YouTube to really regulate what they're uploading in their respective platform. Because hindi na minsan na-check, you would see some violent materials being uploaded, indecent materials being uploaded, and we are very open here, and even our children could view this. That's why what I'm saying is
So,
somehow
General, yes, I'm
through
sorry I have to
DICT.
interrupt, but
Yes, PM. Yes, PM.
so, General, but what you're saying, hindi lang yung Islamic terrorist groups like the Mounted Terrorist Group. You're also looking at the communist terrorist groups, yung mga tinatawag din yung CTG. Is that
Yes,
right,
of course.
sir?
Yes, CTG are also present in the web, in the internet. So and uploading, violent and recruiting, radicalizing the youth. That's why when we were asked to give some inputs on the IRR based on our experience in Marawi and in our battle against terrorism. So ito kasi naging challenge namin, the social media, the web is very open and nakapitalize ng gusto ito ng various terror groups, not only local but global terrorist cells all over the globe. And in fact, these cells are communicating through the net. And what we're saying is we are proposing or suggesting the idea through DICT if we could coordinate with these social media platforms to somehow regulate yung mga ina-upload nila sa kanilang platforms. Like, of course, makikita natin violent materials like terrorist groups, beheading their captives, their kidnapped victims, and some even bomb making, IED making. It's open in the net. So what we're suggesting is for these social media platforms to really regulate what they're uploading in their respective sites.
Terrorist groups, ang tawag po
Yeah.
ninyo dito yung unconventional.
Ang tawag po ninyo dito yung unconventional threats, no? But like the armed forces has said in the last 2 or so years, your role is not to deal with the local insurgency, but to deal with conventional threats. We're going to continue this discussion. We just need to take a very quick break, General. When we return, we'll take a closer look at the modernization plans of the armed forces. Keep it here on CNN Philippines. Welcome back to CNN Philippines. I'm Pia Ontiveros. Still with us, the new Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, Lieutenant General Gilbert Gapay. General Gapay, what's going to happen now is we have less than 3 minutes before we end the show. But what we will do is that after we say goodbye to you on the show, we are going to continue this discussion on our Facebook Live page, on our CNN Philippines Facebook Live page, on social media, the same social media that you want to regulate. But
I like
anyway,
that.
so
In the
General
social
Gapay,
media.
ito po, no? Yes. Yes, oo. So, General, ito So, what the AFP aims to do is to move from from taking care of unconventional threats to conventional threats. When we say conventional threats, are we talking about foreign invaders, foreign aggression, territorial aggression of foreign countries? Is that what we mean by conventional threat?
Yeah, it's more than that. Threats that really undermine our national interests. And it is really the main mandate of the armed forces to, aside from protecting our people, is to uphold our sovereignty and preserve the integrity of our national territory. So kasama na dyan yung ating national patrimony, lahat ng natural resources na nandito sa ating bansa. Yan ang poprotektahan ng inyong armed forces upang pakinabangan ng ating ng sambayan ng Pilipino. Kaya for so long a time, your armed forces has been preoccupied with internal security threats like the CPP-LPA, yung local terrorist groups natin dito, and naging na-relegate, naging yung ating external defense na relegate sa backseat. And right now, we are now gradually shifting our strategic orientation beyond our borders, protecting yung ating maritime resources sa ating territorial waters, and of course, all other resources that we consider part of our national patrimony. So nandito ang armed forces to protect all
And so,
those.
General, of course, you're referring to the West Philippine Sea, for example, no, where there is some aggression from other countries. But General Gapay, like I said earlier, we are going to shift to Facebook Live. But for now, we are going to say goodbye to you on air, on broadcast. So, Lieutenant General Gilbert Gapay, maraming salamat po for granting us this interview, and congratulations once again. Or should we say, we wish you the best of luck, and we render a very snappy salute, sir.